Alright YouTube, J-Bob the Video Game Slob, and we're back at it again, heading out of state, as you can probably see there.
Welcome to Michigan.
Pick up a vintage barn find. Pretty intrigued by this. If I understand it right, it's only 25 bucks. Problem is, I don't have a $5 bill, so who knows, if we don't have change, we might overpay a little bit. I'm not going to let that worry me. But stay tuned. We also have, this is going to be part 2, you might have saw part 1 in the last video, of perhaps the most I've ever spent at a garage sale. And I'm sure you're wondering what we're teasing with that. Hang in there, we got a cool barn find hopefully coming up, bit of a drive away, and then, yeah, hopefully a bit of a cool story coming on up. Did I mention it's summer yet? And if you haven't figured out how to tell it's summer yet, these orange things always grow out of the road, and that's how you know it's summer. They're sprouting up everywhere. Another joy of Michigan is the dirt roads. If you're not aware of Michigan, the joke is the roads are pretty bad, which is generally true of, you know, the major roads. But it is funny to head down a dirt road in the modern era, but there's still tons of them in Michigan, and it's kind of fun. It's the charm of it, just like finding a cool out-of-state radio station and finding...
Your destination is on the left.
Well, you just saw it loaded up in the back. We ended up paying 40 bucks. They were asking 25 for it, but so cool to see a Commodore pet. I already have a Commodore Business Machine 2001. I don't know if it's featured in the videos recently, but I also got it out of Michigan, and it does need some repairs, and so you can probably hear me barely over the road noise. But yeah, so we'll try to get one of those working. We'll see where that goes. But man, a Commodore pet for 40 bucks, even if you have to drive an hour away, what a deal, you know? So, all right, let's get it back at home and see what it looks like. Well, as is often the case, we get something home that's super cool. You know, we have this Commodore pet here. It was $25 listed on Marketplace, so I rushed up like an hour to come get this thing. I have sort of a collection going on of these. I always thought they were very hard to find, and just something pretty rare. And then I ended up finding one with a disk drive in an estate sale, an hour and a half away, and you had to register like the day before. So I went and I did that, and I went out and got this and a bunch of other video games and stuff. It was, you know, heavily attended, but I got to this, and I think I paid 500 bucks for a non-working, you know, Commodore with the disk drive, the pet, and I think it was maybe a 4032 or something like that, and a bunch of other stuff. I had a ton of accessories and magazines and all sorts of things, but that was like 500 bucks. I still think with all the things I bought in that sale that day, I'm down like 125 bucks. So I guess cost to me after I sold everything else was like 125 bucks. Then 2 years ago, I found a hoarder house full of Commodore pets as well, so I ended up, I forget which I had, but I ended up with the CBM 2001, I ended up with the 4032, I ended up with a SX64 and a Commodore Educator 64, which is a Commodore 64 in the pet chassis. So with this version of the 2001, with the number pad, you know, with the bracket here past P, I think this is the end model. I think this is at least the end of the major variations, because now I have the 4032, the 8032, the two different 2001s, and the Educator 64. So here we go. Let's turn this thing on, see if anything happens. I'm not hopeful. Yeah, like they said, they've had this thing in an attic since 1979, so... wouldn't you know it, not coming to life for us here at the moment, but that's okay. We'll wrap up this video and leave it on a cliffhanger while we go to do this. I made the biggest purchase I have ever made in my life at a garage sale, so let's go pick that up. We'll see you tomorrow. YouTube, stay tuned.